Good afternoon, everyone. This is Miss Frankie from 4A, and I wanted to talk just for a minute about how to use the rounding mountain and what our song is that I use to help remember how to round. So the first thing I want to do is just quickly show you the song. Some of the students may have this song. I'm not going to sing it to you, but it goes to If You're Happy and You Know It. So what they do is they can sing the song and help them round as they go. So it says if you want to round a number, box it up. So if I'm going to round the 4 in the 400s, I'm going to draw a box around the 4. After I sing that another time, then it's going to say draw an arrow to the right to see what it is like. Now when we were using the rounding mountain, we called this guy, and right here, my little dots there, the bossy older brother. He's telling the boxed up little brother what to do. So I draw an arrow to the right to see what it is like. If the arrow's less than 5, the number stays the same. So the box number stays the same. Well, if I look at my arrow, the arrow is less than 5. So my box number stays the same. But what do I do with the rest of this? If I look later in the song, it says change the others all to 0. So everything after that number gets changed to a 0. So I can say that 435 rounds to 400. Well, if I do another one, and maybe I'm going to use this second or the third verse, let's go with 672, and I want to round to the hundreds. I'm going to box up my 100, and same thing, I'm going to draw an arrow to the right to see what it is like. If the arrow's 5 or more, the box number goes up 1. So, is the arrow 5 or more? Yes, 7 is more than 5. So, my box number goes up 1. And the same thing happens. All the numbers after the box change to 0. So I would say that 672 rounds to 700. So now using the rounding mountain, what the kids have in their binders is an example of this they can use with the dry erase marker. If I take another number, so 182, and I want to round to the hundreds place. So I'm going to do the same thing my song told me to do. Draw an arrow to the right to see what it is like. The rounding mountain just helps them know which numbers which numbers stay the same. So these all stay the same. These mean that the number has to go up 1. Okay? So what I ask the students to do first is they decide if the number stays the same, what it'll be, and they write it in the box on the left side. If the number goes up 1, they write it on the right side. Now they look at the arrow and they drive their little car to that number. And that's where they stop. They see which side of the mountain that number is on, and that tells them what their answer will be. So 182 rounds to 200. Looking at another couple examples, if I was rounding 24,496 to the nearest thousands, I'm going to try to in this little box here, what it would be if it stays the same. Well, if it stays the same, it'll be a 2, so it would be 20,000. If it goes up 1, it'll be a 3, so it'll be 30,000. And I draw my arrow to the right, and I'm going to look at that number. So I'm going to take my little car. He's not on here right now, but my little car, I'm going to find the 4. The 4 is on the stay the same side. So 24,496 stays the same, so it's 20,000. It rounds to 20,000. Now the only other part I wanted to show you is sometimes it can be a little tricky with numbers that have a number before the box. So in this case I want to round to the hundreds. So what I told the kids is anything before the box, they have to stay. They're permanent. They don't get to leave. So go ahead and write him inside of my little box. Now, the 5 is what's going to either stay the same or change. So if it stays the same, it's a 5. If it goes up 1, it's a 6. Same thing with my rounding mountain. Draw an arrow to the right. Take my little car and find the 6. The 6 is on the go up 1, so it's going to be 1,600. Okay. I hope that explains something. If you have a question, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.